All right, looks like we're live, and I'm here in the middle of the night with my good buddy Undertow. How you doing?
Okay.
And let me. It sounds okay on the YouTubes there. All right, so last night, it's Saturday night. It's technically Monday where I'm at, but Saturday night, you were on a stream with me. Forney was on a stream with me, and we were, poking some fun at the old alt-right. And Millennial Woes came up, and I don't really even remember what the hell we said. I know you said something along the lines of you got frustrated with him because it seemed like he didn't want to fix problems, just sit around and be sad about it.
Yeah, that's the majority of my commentary, and I want to actually mention that really quickly because you know what? I might have been being a little bit unfair because I stopped following his channel when I started feeling that way. So maybe he's come around, and he did make a lot of personal headway in the starting of his channel. He was in a deep depression when he first started that channel. And some of his videos on the state of art, because he went to art school, and those sorts of videos were my first introduction to this sort of right-wing thinking. I don't know. He sent me a message. I didn't know we were still contacts on Skype. He sent me a message last night at like 4 a.m. saying, "Yeah, well, fuck you too." And that makes me sad more so than it makes me angry because I didn't say that because I wanted to make fun of him. I said that because I'm frustrated because I know what a smart person he is. I had a few conversations with him off, on not on a stream, but his stream was one of the first appearances I had online in this sphere. And actually, it was talking with him when I first came up with the name Undertow as my pseudonym here. And I don't remember exactly what was said. Honestly, I was painting a model while we were talking, so I wasn't listening to all of it. I was just kind of floating some ideas out there. And it's not personal, but the fact that he took it so personally and was so immediately angry about it really saddens me because he always struck me as a very calm and collected guy. And I don't know. I hope that doesn't mean that he's not doing as well.
Well, to be honest, he never struck me that way. He struck me as somebody that is on the surface calm, but that calm is beneath it is a deep reservoir of rage. And I say that because it's I'm partially that way myself. Now I should say I was friends with not friends, but friends on Facebook with Millennial Woes.
Mm-hmm.
And he apparently unfriended me, presumably over this. I don't know. He had a comment on the live stream, and I wish I could get it to show up. It's one of those comments that I can see in my notifications, but doesn't show up under the stream, which happens a lot these days. YouTube eats a lot of comments these days. Mr. Matoker's actually covered that subject in depth. But the comment is 3 inadequates. I guess referring to you, me, and Forney. Now, again, I don't hold any ill will towards Millennial Woes in any real sense, but at the same time, I mean, I have to take the cheap shot. I mean, did you at least take a cock out of your mouth before you type that up?
Oh, come on now.
I mean, no. Millennial Woes is a smart guy, but, he's got some problems. He's not in a position to throw some stones. And I'm not overly familiar with his commentary. I've listened to maybe a grand total of 10 minutes of his stuff ever.
Well, I used to listen to him religiously, and he he's not, as far as I know, he's not gay now. He used to think that he was gay or whatever, but like that's just something that he brings up as just, oh, this is my history or whatever. That's not a defining part of his personality, and I think it's unfair to treat him as such. That's just something that he brings up as
Luke, you got an echo on your end. Well, I'm sorry. I got to take a cheap shot at somebody if they're going to take a shot at me. But here's the thing. Millennial Woes is free to come on here anytime he wants and counter whatever was said. I don't know what the fuck I said about him Saturday that was so damn bad. I don't really remember. Again,
I
Millennial
think
Woes
it's.
isn't
I think
somebody
it
I
was
think.
less about our personal mentions of him and more the fact that you were railing against the general direction of the white nationalist movement.
Well, that might be part of it because here's the thing. I was apparently in a Millennial Woes like Skype group. I was in this big Skype group that somebody added me into it. I never followed it. I maybe checked it a couple of times and I only kind of accepted it to be polite, if I'm being honest. And this morning I get a message where, let me bring it up. And I'm not going to say who messaged me here. I'm not going to, but I will say what was said to me. All of a sudden I get a message that says this morning, and right afterwards you had actually messaged me and said that Millennial Woes had messaged you and told you to fuck off and all that kind of thing. Removed you from the Woes group. No hard feelings at this point, but we're certainly not seeing eye to eye. So it's probably for the best. Hope the right can unite in the future. And my initial response was, from the what? Like it didn't even dawn on me what he was talking about. Like what do what now? And then, after he messaged me, I said, so Undertow tells me Millennial Woes got his panties in a bunch and messaged him to fuck off. I don't even remember what we said to it.
Not my words, by the way.
Yes, these
Not
are
my words.
I know. This is what I said. No, you told me exactly what he said. This is me being colorful, as always. I don't remember what was said to make his pussy hurt, but let him know he's free to come on anytime and counter what we said. Honestly, I didn't even realize the Skype group was about Millennial Woes. I never followed it and only accepted it to be polite. The guy responded, I'll let him know, but for my part, you guys were crossing the line of comedy and constructive criticism to the point where what you were saying could only be constructed as detrimental to white interests. Now I responded to him back. I said, I'm not a white nationalist and I've never claimed to be. Now here's the thing. Again, I haven't had a chance to go back and listen to the whole stream yesterday. I don't know that I said anything mean about Woes. I know I took shots at him tonight. Frankly, it's because he's taking shots at me first. But I've never had any real beef with the guy, and I really don't now. I'll take a cheap shot at you. I'll take a cheap shot at a lot of guys. It's all about the bants here. But I don't know what the hell I said. Maybe I cracked a gay joke last night or something. I don't remember. But I do remember what we were saying about white nationalism and the direction it was going and all that kind of stuff. And my basic premise was, stop being faggots and go to church. And if that message is indeed detrimental to white interests, then literally to hell with white interests. Now, I don't believe it is detrimental to white interests. Quite the opposite. I believe, securing a future for white pos loads and white bathhouses is what's really detrimental to white interests. And that's what large sections of the white nationalist movement seem to want to do at this point. All that said, again, if he wants to, he can come on here and, and we can talk about the differences. That's fine. Again, no real beef with Millennial Woes. But no, I'm not even going to say it. No real beef with him. That said, though, I have the position.
I'm more saddened by this than anything else because I do have a lot of genuine affection for Woes, and he's a very nice guy who I think has, at least in the past, done a lot of good. I just think that he gets too bogged down in the dreariness of it all, and I don't see as much concrete action being taken. And when I say that, I mean that in the Jordan Peterson sense, like I was talking about last night, of sort your own life out. Last time I was watching one of Woes' videos, he was still on the government dole over there. And that's the fact that's what I had in mind when I was saying that I'm frustrated. But I mean, again, maybe that's unfair of me because I haven't followed him in a while, and maybe he's off of it by now. Maybe he's got himself, up on his feet and standing head and shoulders above. I don't know, but I doubt that somehow.
Well, I know
just given the dour tone that he tends to.
I know he had a hissy fit a while back about, he was tired of the alt-right because they were too anti-gay, which Okay, I don't know which sections he was looking at, but you know, I see quite the opposite problem. Um, but no, and I'll say this to any guys like the one that wanted to message me today about, I can't believe you dared criticize the glory of the white race. Um, my position has remained consistent for a very long time here, and that is that race matters, and it is not, however, all that matters.
Have you guys
And
ever seen Murdoch?
I've
I've heard
watched
the
a few
name.
of their stuff. Yeah, a couple of their episodes.
Yeah, there's one episode called 100% Phenotype, and basically the premise is that someone like out of the blue decided to make a white nation state where everyone is basically judged on their phenotypes, and apparently Dr. Murdoch has a 100% like pure white blood phenotype, and then all the classism and rate and bigotry that comes in, and then at the very end it turns out he's not 100%, he's at 99. At the very end they ask, "Hey guys, what is white?" And it cuts to black, which is a perfect illustration of well, it illustrates something that's hard about white nationalism. It's just like, how do you define it? Like, what does whiteness actually entail as far as attitude is concerned? Like, at least with Christianity, there's a certain expectation of behavior, but whiteness doesn't define behavior. If you include all of Western civilization.
It's much, much murkier too when you're dealing with white nationalism in North America, because over in Europe, you have more concrete identities. I'm French. I'm British. I'm that was a race, but it was also a nationality and a culture and all that kind of stuff. We're here in America. I mean, we are white mutts. We are all manner of mixes of Europeans. We are very genetically distinct from our European cousins. In fact, blacks in this country are incredibly genetically distinct from their African cousins, because there was some slight inbreeding, or not inbreeding. There was some slight mixing between blacks and whites, which usually ended up on the black side, because if you were half black, you ended up on that side historically. And also, both whites and blacks absorb tremendous amounts of the natives into their bloodline. You're hard pressed to find any white people in this country that have been here, that can trace their lineage very far, that don't have at least one Native American in the woodpile. So it's a much racial issues are a much murkier thing here in the States than, say, in Europe. That said, though, again, I've taken the position that race matters, but it's not all that matters, and I think that's a pretty common sense damn position. So if by chance you're of the mindset that race is irrelevant and we're all the same and all that kind of crap, I'm probably going to piss you off, because I don't feel that way at all. But at the same token, if you're of the mindset that race is the fundamental and most important thing in the damn world, I'm probably going to piss you off as well.
Oddly enough, this probably is a metaphor that's been done to death, but you're basically trying to have that tightrope between the communists and the quote unquote communists and Nazis. I know I'm using the terms vaguely, but basically you're saying we're the middle people. We believe in equality, but not to the expense of private property, and we acknowledge race, but not to the expense of just of equal treatment.
Well, Anti-Dem said it best, and I don't even remember what stream we were on. I think it was somebody else's stream. I think it was that Christian stream I was on, where he talked about the golden median. But yeah, you can actually try and have a balance between extremes without being some sort of both sides are dumb, everyone's dumb but me. I'm a centrist, I never take a side faggot. I mean, more often than not, truth sits squarely between two opposite errors.
Mm-hmm.
And perfect example. And there's this black chick I know. I know online. I've met her, through online. I've chatted with her a great deal. And I find her very attractive. I think she's very sweet. She's a good Christian girl. She is not local to me at all. If she were, I might consider pursuing a relationship with her. And I wouldn't be concerned about whether some 19-year-old on Twitter who's never kissed a girl and has an anime avatar is going to be upset about it. I don't see how it's that difficult a position to process, the idea that race matters. It's not all that matters.
Maybe it's just a matter of like it's so easy, it's so much more comfortable and more desirable to be polarizing and being gangish. Maybe it's just a natural desire to like gang up with one group and then dispense everybody else. Like it's like a natural disposition in our brains.
And I mean,
well,
I can understand.
It's natural. Hold on, that's like the definition of how human beings work. I understand the impulse. That's entirely natural. I'm not saying, oh, it's weird that you don't like race mixing. We're not going full Talmud vision over here, you know.
I mean, to the way that we seem to embrace it to the fanatical levels. I mean, it's not. I mean, that's a natural. Just as that what I described is just a natural state of humans.
Sure. What's unnatural is this celebration of the destruction of all that is normal. You know, the being going against the norm just for the sake of going against the norm. That is what does need to be done away with. We should never, ever abridge the individuality and the freedom of people to make choices of their own, but it's the celebration of this sort of thing that needs to be culled.
I don't necessarily have a problem with interracial dating or interracial coupling or, you know, interracial breeding. I tend to have a tremendous problem about it being pushed in a very transparent and really very anti-white way. You know, I can't help but notice that in popular media, TV shows, movies, what have you, 90% of the time, if you see a black and white couple, it's a black male with a white woman. Now, I happen to believe that comes from an inherently anti-white male bias in the media, especially given the fact that a black woman with a white man is tremendously more common in the real world. And statistically, pound for pound, you know, per capita, far less likely to end in divorce or domestic violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned this with you before. Like, there's a TV show on Netflix called iZombie, and I swear every other couple is an interracial couple with a black, dark-skinned guy and the white girl. And like, wait, this can't be right. But to get back to your point, it is a desire of the media to try to push the. It's not even. Like, I was just talking about the new Death Note series, and in this one, a new Death Note on Netflix, and there's this one scene where two guys are bullying on a girl. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, that never happens in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I take issue with more than anything else. Yeah, I don't have any inherent issue with race mixing. I mean, the autistic level of shit Forney gets about the fact that he used to, you know, chase Filipino girls is absolutely insane, particularly from a group of a movement that is so quick to turn a blind eye to homosexuality in its ranks. But, you know, Forney wanting to bang a Filipino chick is the height of degeneracy. And you know what? This is something I said a couple streams ago, and I'll say this again to any of the white nationalists that are upset with me. Oh, you're anti-white now. I've crossed the line. I've gone anti-white, folks. But no, here's what I would ask you. You can be mad at me all you want. You can sit here and be like, "Oh, you're a cock, whatever, race mixing cock and whatever name you want to call me." But here's the question you should ask. I am someone who is incredibly sympathetic to the goals and concerns of white nationalism. Even if I'm not on board with you on your goals and concerns 100%, I certainly would like to see things moved a little bit in that direction. So why am I not rooting for you people? Why am I often so repulsed by you? For issues that have nothing to do with actual race. Because there's a lot of other people like me. There's a lot of other people who would like to root for you. And they just can't.
Well, I feel like I've said my piece. I'm actually going to head to bed. You guys take care. It's nice to have the trio back together for a few minutes.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Yeah, have a good night, you guys.
Later.
Well, yeah, like I said, millennials, you can come on here, and I'm sure you're listening. I'm sure somebody's going to pass this on to you. Apparently, anytime you're mentioned, it works its way up to you. You're welcome to come on here. I don't really have a beef with you. you know. So.
Any other topics before the week begins?
What the hell else did I want to talk about today? There was something else. Shit.
Texas silver flooding.
I thought it was kind of fucked up that the VMAs were still tonight when, you know, there's this huge natural disaster. It kind of would have thought they would have postponed it or something. It's sort of bad taste to have this massive fucking. I mean, I didn't watch the VMAs because I have no interest in watching it, but it's kind of bad taste to have this big pomp, you know, award ceremony when, you know, there's this huge natural disaster going on.
Well, it's in Texas. No one cares.
The VMAs, that's the MTV thing, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I didn't watch that even back when MTV was still popular. Fuck MTV. Apparently, Taylor Swift premiered her music video on that though. Like she has two versions of music videos for her new song. One is like this kind of animated thing that like it's called the lyrics version because like the words are constantly on the screen. And it's kind of cool. But then she has an actual like highly produced live action music video that, you know, more than a few scenes in there could be fat material if I was so inclined. It's a decent song though.
What was it called again?
Look What You Made Me Do.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy the Taylor Swift. Yeah. Oh no, don't play any of it.
All right.
Yeah, that's trust me that we'll get a strike on that. And I mean I don't monetize, but I don't want it. I noticed it happens almost automatically on any video that has like more than 1 million views.
Yeah. I'll just put a collage of Taylor Swift on for your amusement.
Damn. Well, that first picture there with the newsprint thing, that's one of the things where people are saying she has quote unquote Nazi imagery in her new album. That's supposed to be her new album cover.
Oh.
Yes, they're claiming that's Nazi imagery.
It may be. I mean, I guess it could kind of look like a Schindler's List print. I don't know.
Fucking retards just.
This is sad. I mean, it's sad when like they're not even processing. I don't know. Well, it could be that they're just flat out lying, or they just can't process the information properly.
Wait, when you lie so much, it reaches a point where, you know, at a certain point, you're lying to yourself. I mean, it's hard to tell. You know, it's genuinely hard to tell what they actually fucking believe. Yeah.
Oh, no one ever taught her to arch her arm up when she says hi. Oh, poor Taylor Swift. Yeah. Rush Limbaugh makes this point that whenever I say hi to people, I always arch my hand up to make sure it doesn't look, arch my elbow to make sure it doesn't look like a tile.
Good old Taylor Swift. And you know, I really think that she's probably considerably more right wing than she lets on. I mean, she did admit that she voted for Trump, and she is, at least by Hollywood standards, quote unquote, trad. I mean, she's probably not as right wing as I am or half this audience is, but by Hollywood standards, I'm willing to bet you she's pretty right wing.
And it's not bad by Hollywood. It's not hard to do that by Hollywood standards, but you would be suggesting it's far more than Hollywood, or just far more than America would.
I think it's far more than a lot of people would guess. Like, I think she might be as far right wing as, say, even a Michael Savage.
Ooh.
I really think she hides her true power level on her politics.
They're going to try to make one of those political. They're going to make a political version of the energy scanner from Dragon Ball Z.
Somebody in the chat says she voted for Trump. Like, seriously, yes. She admitted it after the election too. Like, on election day, she put up a picture of her in line to vote, and you know, I was joking about it on the election stream. I'm like, Tay making America great again. And then she admits she voted for Trump.
There it is.
No, I mean, she lives in California, I would assume. So, you know, I mean, she might as well stay home. But yeah, I think she's far more right wing than most people imagine. Yep.
I'm with her. What the? Someone has tried to tweet about I'm with her.
Yeah. Well,
I guess they thought that she voted for Hillary, of course.
Yeah, and I guess there was time. She did go to some fundraiser. It wasn't a political fundraiser, but she did go to a fundraiser that Hillary was supposedly at or something. And I mean, she has a leftist friend. Her Lena Dunham is supposedly a close friend of hers, which I don't. You know, I mean, every time, like every once in a while, somebody will send me like a picture of like Taylor Swift hanging out with Lena Dunham. There it is, and they'll be like, "Well, what do you think of her now?" And I'm like, I think it's very nice of Taylor Swift to make that retarded boy feel special. You know, it's very nice of her to hang out with some Down syndrome boy.
I hear they are being in more date clothes, but not just party. They're not just party people.
Yeah, I don't understand what that's all about.
Maybe they just connect, like they're like sisters to each other, and they just kind of like each other.
Don't get me wrong. There's certainly, you know, there's certainly people who have friendship that, you know, transcends politics and all. It's just that's grown increasingly rare in these days.
Oh yeah, it's almost impossible. Like we were saying about the whole polarization of people.
Well, I mean, it's because the left keeps trying to punch us. I mean, you know, we're not the ones that are avoiding the reasonable discussion here.
Oh yeah, Murdoch also made a video about Taylor Swift and Lena Dunham. I remember, like the girl character tried to like drop some red pills to Taylor Swift, but Lena Dunham said we have to do this and do that and all that nonsense. And they, of course, the animators made her look as ugly as humanly possible. Well,
I mean, you barely have to exaggerate it. That is one ugly woman.
Mm.
I think Lena Dunham looks like she smells bad.
Well, this is okay.
Like she just. Yeah, like that's her at her most dolled up, and it's still like, eh. I mean, she's a fat chick that has small titties. You know what I mean? Like that's like a biblical level of being cursed. Like. Yeah, it's just you got to keep showing me. You got to quit showing me pictures of her with Lena Dunham. Like my penis just doesn't know what to make of such imagery.
How's this?
That's a lot better.
Anyway.
Somebody in the chat says, is she Anglo? I don't know exactly what kind of white Taylor Swift is. See, Swift keeps Dunham around in case she has to throw her in the way of zombie stalkers. Anything. Dunham can repel it.
That actually happens. Oh, that kind of happens in the video, actually. They're trying to do a fundraiser for quote-unquote Dindus, and then the Dindus break down the cages and... Well, yeah.
Break out of the cage.
Well, technically they're not Dindus, they're Arabs, so I can't say that. I'm gonna get myself in so much trouble later.
Oh, did you see Matoker's video he put out tonight on?
Oh yes, I did, and there's some bad, lousy fans there.
Well, you know, I have to say, like, okay, what was the guy's name? Like, I can't remember the name of the main guy he was showing, but it was somebody who wanted to be on Channel Awesome and was doing his own thing and all. He is no worse than half of what was on Channel Awesome, easily. Right. Like, just looking at the clips Matoker was showing us, he's not. Like, I don't understand why he didn't end up on Channel Awesome.
What was his name? Like, it's like a PH. It's kind of like a weird kind of PH foreign name.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but
although nonsensical rants had the comment like videos like that, like people like with these kind of videos, they kind of they disincentivize people like us to make more content.
It's almost a double-edged sword because you're kind of like, well, I could do better than that guy, so maybe I should do it. But then you're also like, but then am I like lumped in with this guy? Well, I mean, that style of review is kind of half dead. I mean, there's a few guys that are still around and doing it and good. Like JonTron just put out a new video talking about the Vanilla Ice movie, and it was damn good because JonTron's just funny as shit. I mean, JonTron is, you know, and it's funny, you know, everybody, you know, all those leftist rags were talking about how you know, JonTron, his numbers were going to suffer when he comes back because he was so racist and stuff.
Oh, no, it didn't, folks.
And then, you know, he comes back and, I mean, his thing came out like, what, yesterday, and it's already at 1 million views?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, JonTron stuff's great, and it's just little stuff JonTron does in there that like he's putting in the Ice video, like baby DVD, and in the background of the video, the Ice Cap song from Sonic 3 is playing. It's just little stuff like that. JonTron's just great. I mean, I watched that video yesterday, and I'm just bursting out laughing. Like, there's parts where I got to stop it and go back because I was laughing too hard. I missed parts of it. I love JonTron stuff. And there's other guys that are still, I mean, you know, Angry Video Game Nerd's still doing a thing, and he's doing great. And Doug Walker's stuff isn't half bad now. He's like, it was bad. He was bad long enough that now he's starting to get better. You know, it's one of those things, like almost like The Simpsons, how it was bad for so long, and then it started to actually get kind of good again.
It was after the 5th season.
Yeah, like Doug Walker's been around so long now, he's got like ups and downs of quality. You know what I mean?
Speaking of quality, have you seen any recent videos about the quality of the audience of the Simpsons audience?
The quality of the audience of the Simpsons?
The amount of audience they have, like how it peaked and it's down to nearly below their original review numbers. It is striking to see how much they've just shot all the way down over the years as far as attendance audience is concerned.
Interesting. Yeah, but I mean, the problem with a lot of these review guys is they don't do actual real reviews. I mean, you know, guys like Some Call Me Johnny or Ant Dude or Geek Critique or something like that. Yeah, they might do jokes in there, and some of them might do skits, especially their earlier stuff, but they actually review things. You know what I mean? It's actually interesting to hear their thoughts on stuff, where most of the other guys, it's like, let's look at something that's obviously bad and make snarky comments about it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. That can be extremely funny, but it's very low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? And if that's all you got, I mean, there's a million other people who can do that.
Yeah, I just found it. This is the ratings for The Simpsons over the audience numbers for The Simpsons over the years. Or actually, there's the IBN number, but all the numbers are basically the very similar pattern.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, season 5 was probably its peak.
What year was that? Like in the 1990s? What year was that?
I want to say 93, 94, something like that.
Yeah, that's when Simpsons were everywhere. You couldn't go 5 minutes without seeing something about the Simpsons.
Well, I mean, the Simpsons was great. I mean, back in the day, it really was. But yeah, it's certainly not what it was. That's for sure.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Like some sidesplitter.com, the jokes per minute have constantly been on an increase since season 4.
You know, that kind of, I could kind of see that. Yeah.
But as for review, and I'm kind of reviewer tired, honestly, because everything, like in all the circles, like the alt-right circles I go to, or the just general circles, all we're doing is reviewing other people's, quote unquote, reviewing other people's stuff or responding to other people's stuff. And of course, it's kind of hard to actually make something because everything we make just turns into Charlottesville.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's definitely a place for that kind of stuff on YouTube. It's just, you know, some of it needs to die down. I mean, yeah, a lot of it's just not good. And like I said, JonTron I still watch. Angry Video Game Nerd still good. You know, they're not for everybody, but I still have a soft spot for Phalos and Lupa. Although I don't watch them all the time, but they still do make me chuckle. Cinema Snob's still pretty good, but so much of that stuff. Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I really kind of never understood Angry Joe's appeal. Like, I can kind of see it at first because he has really good delivery, but I mean, after you've watched like maybe 3 episodes of him, you have to like catch on to the fact that he doesn't really know what the fuck he's talking about. You know, I mean, he's very much like that interview where that like one game developer or whatever called him on his bullshit. Like that was so classic because, you know, Joe did not, he even said it afterwards. He wasn't prepared. He thought he had this really clever question or something. He did no real research. And then he got his ass handed to him. He got made a fool of, you know? Then, you know, what'd you expect? But yeah.
Well, anyway, I probably should get around to making your video.
Yeah, I got another vid coming up. What the hell is this one on? Oh, the Amiibos. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think I said what I wanted to say on here for tonight's stream. This is kind of a short one, but like I said, you know, Saturday's stream really apparently upset Millennial Woes, and you know, I mean, yeah, I took shots at him tonight, but you know, really, you know, he can come on here and talk if he wants to. That's fine. But I mean, the alt-right right now is a fucking joke. It's a joke. You know, I'm very glad I'm not really all that associated with it. I don't think, you know, I ever really had more than one foot in it, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah, and that some of the ideas of the alt-right are going to live on. You know, they're going to continue. They're going to be picked up by better people, and they're going to maybe evolve a bit. But yeah, the ideas of it are going to live on. But the brand's fucking dead. Right now, I think best case scenario is Trump's going to have the Justice Department crack down on quote unquote both far left and far right groups. And, you know, by cracking down on the evil white supremacists, that's going to be a cover to fucking shut down Antifa. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a fine trade. I will gladly sacrifice 1,000 Richard Spencers to shut down one Antifa rally.
Amen.
Yeah. The only one I feel it remotely sorry about is Cantwell. I like Cantwell. It's a shame he's quite possibly just ruined.
I'm just glad I got all his videos downloaded before they were taken down.
Oh, good. I might have you share some of them with me.
The speech ones, like the speech ones, like
I do have a Radical Agenda T-shirt. I'm kind of tempted to see if I can get away with walking around town on it. I mean, he has grown pretty infamous in the last couple weeks, so who knows? But yeah, if you enjoy the show, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tip jar down below. Yeah.
And of course, check out Bechtloff's awesome VidMe channel to expand our audience.
Yes, do check out. Believe me, right now I'd be content to only do the VidMe channel. But yeah, do check that out. And like I said, my position is and always has been that race matters, but it's not all that matters. And there's a lot of cucks that would get upset about that, but there's a lot of people I think are just too autistic and absolutist on the issue, and they're going to get upset about that. I don't. If that position isn't good enough for you, I don't know what to tell you. I can't sit here and act like the preservation of the white race is the greatest moral imperative in the universe, because it's not. But yeah, everybody, I want to thank you all for listening. Luke, thanks for hopping on here. Undertale, thanks for being on. And that's about all we got for tonight, folks. Bechtloff out.